Welcome to Interview with a Man, episode 640, Why Inner Game Unlocks the Alpha Mindset, featuring my friend Ryan here from Inner Masculine and the walking testimonial himself, Mr. Brent. But before you get started, let me show you where both of these men got their start and so much more. And I'm talking about the Masculine Empowerment Network. Sit tight. Let's take a look here.
I am not a man that believes in luck. I am not a man that believes in destiny. I believe in discipline. I believe in being powerful. I believe in being self-reliant. I believe in mentorship. And most importantly, I believe in me. I refuse to be a victim. And I know that every day I make a choice to be better than before, a choice to do what is right for me, a choice to not live as a slave to my emotions. And all of these choices will lead me to the burden that is heavy, and that burden is greatness. We live in the most prosperous times in human history. There is no excuse that outweighs the greatness that is in you that can get you the life that you want. Every day, we must make a choice to improve our lives or to be victims of inaction. The price of greatness is one we must pay every day, and it is a choice that I always make. Although the path we walk can be lonely, it is the most important thing we must do. Sometimes when you choose the life of greatness, you need a little help.
I Thomas.
The best part of my journey is that I'm not alone, and neither are you.
Boom, baby. There we are. Don't forget, May 8th. It is going down. So if you're not on the waiting list for the Masculine Empowerment Network, stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your phone, put down the bong, go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com. Put your best email address right here. Click here to save your spot. It's completely free. You're not financially committing to anything other than getting information about this via email. We're not going to spam you. We're only going to email you during the enrollment period. Enrollment starts on May 12th and it finishes enrollment starts May 8th and enrollment finishes May 12th at midnight. After that, you can't get in because we're starting the educational webinars and we're going to get you locked and loaded. When you sign up here, let me tell you exactly what you get. All right. You are going to get a bunch of the value we have here locked and loaded. First things first, let me tell you something. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get access to my premier course, which is Money in the Bank, bro. That is the Body Language Mastery course, a course on how to read women's body language so you can understand what women are interested in you and what women are not interested in you. So you can find out who is actually about you, who cares about you, who wants to build with you, who wants to create something with you, who actually loves you for you, versus some godless Jezebel out there who is just trying to use you for whatever she sees fit. Okay. Secondly, you get 60 webinars over the year 2023 and bleeding into 2024 on experts with money, muscles, game, and frame. Our frame expert is here today, Mr. Ryan Fowler. We're going to be talking about that today. How this works is a webinar is we have a presentation given digitally live over Zoom. You sit, take notes, you get educated, you enter shut up and listen mode, and you make it happen. From there, after the presentation's over, we directly go into Q&A session where all the questions you have, they will be answered 100%. Okay. So another thing is, if you can't attend those webinars, right? Guess what? It's okay. They're all recorded and they're stored in a database that you'll get immediate access to. 200 plus hours of past recorded webinars. Number 4, you get secure Telegram chat as well. This is the best thing. Having the Telegram chat is just awesome. Honestly, I personally love it. Just a bunch of animals in there. Maximizing money, muscles, game frame, text advice, dating and profile advice. When your girl's giving you trouble, you get advice from us. We're going to help you out. It's a digital brotherhood that actually leads to physical things. Okay, you get direct access to me, MLD, and then the open course access sale, that and so much more. When you sign up with us, you'll get access to the ability to purchase my other courses like SALT, the Dark Pass, Pandemic Pickup, but Delta Variant, and so much more. All that and more is available for you. You just got to go to the Masculine Empowerment Network.com. Okay. One more thing. Let's take a look at the schedule because it is filling up with the quickness. Schedule has been updated gigantically from last episode here on the Interview with the Man show. Real quick, this is what we're looking like so far. So Andrew, the legal mindset is coming back. We're just going to be talking to you guys about the Asia pill, living in Asia, why it's better living here, and so much more. He's going to be talking about his new podcast. Shut up and take my money. Go East, gentlemen, as well. He's going to be breaking it down for you guys that actually want to get out of the United States of America. Inner Masculine, Ryan Fowler here. He's going to be talking about programming your mind for abundance and introduction to self-hypnosis. Elevate Cyber Returns. He's going to be talking about breaking into cybersecurity for complete beginners. If you want a remote job, look at this. We have the total package here. So if you want a remote job that pays you $70,000 to $80,000 a year starting right out the gate, and you want to move to Asia and work remotely and live off of the dollar and live like a god, these 2 webinars right here are for you. Apex Mindset is back. He's going to be talking about something regarding frame. Wraith is coming back. He's going to be talking about setting healthy boundaries as a man. Ryan is back the next Monday, proving yourself that you're high value and self-hypnosis troubleshooting. Legal Mindset is returning again. He's going to talk about how to make YouTube money fast. He's going to talk to me about, he's done well over $100,000 a year on his YouTube channel. He's going to talk to you guys how to do that. Credit with Colin is coming through. He's going to talk about how to leverage your credit to build wealth. Wraith is going to be back again with Q&A on frame. Paul Apex Mindset going to be doing a game webinar on Wednesday, the 24th in the morning. And then Justin Mark is going to be on the 26th at night. This schedule is filling out quickly. And this is just one set of 20 that you get immediately starting on May 15th. But guess what? You get 40 more for the rest of the year. But you got to sign up now. So go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com. Make it happen. Shout out to Brienne Solis with the fucking $20 super chat. She's loved to hear MLD. Little brother just got out of a bad relationship. She and her sister were telling lies about him. Thankfully, these people don't believe her since she's known to be a pathological liar. Well, if you see the red flags, you gotta run. You gotta run. You gotta run. Good evening, guys. How you doing, man? Thank you guys for being around. Ryan, Brent.
Hey.
Show. Brent, you there?
Yep, I'm here, brother.
Okay, good. So, looks. Are you guys coming in clean? We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So, yeah. Here's the deal, right? Ryan. Good Lord, we're working together now. What is this? We're coming up on our
4 years, man, since 2019.
We're starting our 5th year, right?
Starting our 5th now, yeah.
Yeah, man. What a time to be alive. So today we're going to be talking about why inner game unlocks the alpha mindset. Okay. Ryan.
With Exhibit A right beneath us.
Right.
Case study right here, baby. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah, looking at what we've been talking about behind the scenes here in, with this whole thing we're doing behind the scenes, Ryan, you are really a big part of this driving force of guys who are getting their shit together.
Thank you.
In the Masculine Empowerment Network, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when I talk about what you do, and I say Ryan does hypnotherapy, a lot of people think this is some hocus pocus bullshit. And I think some people literally think we're scammers, or they just think that like we're crazy or something along those lines when it comes to talking about this.
That's why I put so many testimonials on my website.
Right.
Or on my YouTube channel. I got 18 now, like in-depth interviews, just showing receipts.
So I understand that. I understand. Is your internet okay? Am I coming in choppy, or is it you guys?
I can see you great.
Yeah, you're fine on my end.
Okay, coming a little choppy on my end. All right. So Ryan, explain to people how inner game, in your opinion, unlocks this alpha mindset of success and abundance in this life, because you're the expert here on this topic.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the Rollo Tomasi quote. I hope I don't butcher it, but nothing is as simultaneously attractive and threatening to a woman as a man who knows his value. And so what I do, if you read the disclaimer at the beginning of every show on my YouTube channel, I'm a self-belief coach, but I teach it down at your core. I get down in your core that you believe in your ability and your value. That is the alpha mindset. And once you get that down in your core, like deep down, you truly believe in your ability and value, it changes everything. It just changes everything. That is the alpha male mindset. A guy who believes in his ability and value has the alpha male mindset. Hypnosis is the number one technique I use. It's not the only technique, but at the end of the day, that is what I'm focusing on working on. And we talk about toxic shame. Toxic shame is not believing in your ability. It's the opposite of believing in your ability and value. Toxic shame, I'm not good enough. I can't get what I want. I don't fit in. We get the bad out, and then we put that core belief in using hypnosis techniques. I can talk about the specifics if you want. I'm not sure where you like me to go, but that's the core of what I do. And you get that in your core, massive results all day, every day, just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens. I mean, really, I have like 50, 60 testimonials. I put, the video ones on, I got audios, I got written, and just hundreds of lives changed. Those are just the guys that are willing to volunteer. We do a lot of personal stuff in our sessions, but some of these guys go on my YouTube show anyways. It's like, I went through personal shit with you, Ryan, but it's so powerful, I got to share it with the world. And yeah, it works.
So let's talk about this, because the root cause of all problems in somebody's life right now, 95% of the time, is some sort of subconscious trauma that is unhealed and keeping them stuck in this loop. So I keep on talking about how you got to clear your traumas. So can you just, in a simple way, explain to people, one, what a trauma is, okay? And then two, how this trauma causes people to do things like self-sabotage, to be negative, to cheat on their diet, to destroy good relationships, to blow their savings. Please just let me know about those two things for the audience right there.
Okay, so what you guys want to understand, I'm going to tell you something right now that explains a ridiculous amount of maladaptive human behavior. Our brain motivates us towards pleasure, but above all, our brain motivates us to avoid pain, emotional pain and physical pain. And what happens is when we are children, we're brought in this world, we don't know anything. And as children, we're trying to figure out how to survive in this world. What do I need to know to survive in this world? Who am I? What's my value? You know, evolution has been tribes. 99% of human evolution, we've been in tribes. So from a psych evo standpoint, it's all about tribe survival. Where do I fit in the tribe? We've always had hierarchies. Where do I fit in the hierarchy? What's my identity? What's my value? The children, babies, we're trying to figure out, what's my mom like? What's my dad like? What are other people like? What parts of the world are safe? What parts are dangerous? What do I need to know to live and survive and navigate this world? Because I'm just a baby. I don't know shit at this point. I have a little bit of instinct. That's it. So as babies and children, we observe everything around us and we're forming beliefs about what everything means. We're drawing conclusions. You know, my mom gave me a hug. What does that mean? Oh, she loves and values me. I must be worth something. That's a conclusion we might draw. You know, I did something my dad didn't like and he yelled at me. What does it mean? Oh, I got to be careful not to make mistakes, or he'll be upset and that's wrong and that's bad. I can't do that. You know, and so things happen and we interpret, what do they mean? We form these beliefs. These beliefs that we form as children become subconscious programs. By age 8, 75% of them are formed. By age 14, 95% are formed. Here's something that should be in every Psychology 101 book. I don't think it is. Here's what a subconscious program is. It is a belief we form in childhood based on our observations of the world around us. When things happen, we draw conclusions, we interpret things, we form beliefs. Subconscious program is a belief tied to a feeling, and bad subconscious programs have bad feelings tied to them. That is subconscious trauma. The public enemy number one, it's not the only type of bad trauma, but I'm not good enough. And it could be mild, it could be severe. 90% of people have toxic shame. I'm not good enough in some form, at least mild. I'm falling short. I'm inadequate. I can't get what I want. Severe, it could be I'm worthless. I hate myself. I'm a sinner. I'm a loser. You know, PTSD is tied to toxic shame. Absolutely. In the comments, Cam Shump. I had CPTSD. I had complex PTSD, and absolutely tied to toxic shame. If you study complex PTSD, they talk about feelings of worthlessness, all of that. There's guilt and shame tied to PTSD. So this trauma actually gets stored in nerves and neurons that are throughout our body. We have neurons on our heart that process data. We have a second brain in our gut. We have just as many neurons processing data in our torso as we have up here in our brain. That's neuroscience. It's established fact. You can feel things in your legs or your hands. So these when traumatic things happen that have us as children, that have us form traumatic beliefs, some of this can be very subtle and minor. You just get criticized too much or shamed too much as a kid. And so you draw the conclusion as a kid, I'm constantly getting criticized. I must not be able to do anything right. Maybe you form that belief as a child because you get criticized so much or shamed so much, or none of the other kids like me. I get bullied. So I'm at the bottom of the social hierarchy. I don't really fit in or belong. Maybe that's a belief you feel. But a subconscious program is a belief formed in childhood, tied to a feeling. These painful feelings tied to painful beliefs, it's subconscious trauma. And it can be extremely painful. Happening from child abuse, you know, sexually molested, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so as adults, here's what happens. We're going through the world. Our subconscious programs are formed, more or less set in stone for most people. The programs, the beliefs that form in their childhood, down in their subconscious, you may not even be aware of them, subconscious. For most people, it stays 100% or mostly the same or completely the same, these programs for their entire life, unchanging. We have specific techniques to change them. But as adults, you go through the world. If you have a feeling, a painful belief and feeling in you, I'm not good enough, for example, anytime anything in the outside world happens, it's a match for that belief. It spikes a feeling tied to that belief. That is called getting triggered. And toxic shame, I'm not good enough, is one of the most, if not the most painful emotion we have. I can't get what I want. I don't deserve love, just whatever it is. There's pain tied to all of this. So anytime there's anything the outside, see this, you got criticized again. See, you really are a loser. You get criticized in the outside world. You believe you're a loser because you keep failing. Now that pain tied to that gets spiked when that thing happens in the outside world. And this messes people up. This is why people become alcoholics. I was just talking on my show earlier. John Bradshaw, he was an alcoholic, recovered, became a psychotherapist, wrote a seminal work in the 1980s, maybe early 90s, called Healing the Shame That Binds You. He said at the core of every addiction is toxic shame, feeling you're not good enough. and it's so painful, you got to drink or do drugs or whatever, play video games, porn, whatever, to just drown it out. Our brain motivates us towards pleasure, but above all, avoid that pain, avoid that emotional pain that's in you that sucks. And now this is where anxiety, procrastination, self-sabotage, all this stuff comes in, avoiding pain. Because let's say, very common one I use all the time because it's such a good example, approach anxiety. Why are guys afraid to approach women? They're 50 pounds heavier than this woman. She can't hurt them. So why? Well, the guy subconsciously, he has anxiety, and anxiety happens whenever we are in a situation where our brain says, you're in a situation right now where there may not be pain, but if things go south here, you're going to feel pain. I don't want you to feel that pain. I'm going to give you anxiety to get you out of there, or I'm going to distract you so you procrastinate. I'm going to give you resistance so you procrastinate, so you don't do stuff. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Whenever your brain sees you're in a situation that could lead to pain, wants you to get out of there. So a guy sees an attractive girl. There's two types of pain. Some guys have one, some have the other, some have both. A few guys have none of this pain, and then they just approach a lot of women and get a lot of dates. But most guys, there's two types of pain with attracting women. These are subconscious programs. Number one, I'll ask guys who have approach anxiety, how do you feel? You approach the girl. She says she has a boyfriend. She gives you the cold shoulder, rejects you one way or another. How do you feel? Some guys tell me, I feel terrible. I feel like a loser. I'm embarrassed. I'm unattractive. She thinks I'm ugly, whatever. And they feel like crap. That pain right there is what gives them the anxiety. The anxiety says, if you approach that girl and she rejects you, you're going to feel like crap. I don't want you to feel that. I'm going to give you anxiety to make you not do it. A brain, above all, wants us to avoid pain, because in ancient times, pain could be even emotional pain. You did something the tribe didn't like. Boom, you're kicked out of the tribe. Good luck surviving now. We are in tribes to facilitate survival. You're on your own in the wilderness, you're probably going to die. So even emotional pain is tied to in ancient times, tied to survival. Some guys feel like crap. They approach a girl, or they say, there's a really cute girl, I should approach her. And then they don't. And I ask them, how do you feel when you didn't? And some guys will say, I felt like a coward, a loser. I'm not enough of a man. I didn't have the courage to approach this girl. I feel worthless, or something along those lines. That pain too will give you approach anxiety. This is fight or flight. It's part of flight. It's cockroach brain, lizard brain, ancient part of our brain. It just sees a threat, gives us anxiety, but it's what leads to self-sabotage, procrastination, anxiety. So we don't take risks. We don't put ourselves out there, so we can't get ahead. We stay small. It's all tied to avoiding painful subconscious programs from getting triggered based on how we interpreted the world, based on what happened to us as kids. We literally go in and fix that. I literally will do one session for someone. The very next day, they approach a girl, their anxiety, instead of 8 or 9 out of 10, it's now 2 out of 10. They approach the girl, permanent fix. Because we get the bad subconscious programs that have pain tied to them. We get them out. And now they move forward and they start kicking ass. Exhibit A, Mr. Brent Caldwell. I don't know, Brent, if he had approach anxiety, but there's some other stuff we definitely got out of him. And he'll be sharing his story shortly. He's a walking testimonial of how this works. So am I, because I used to just be a train wreck.
Let's talk about that.
I'm not.
So it's a pretty in-depth, complicated explanation you gave me. I think that probably...
Sorry, it's how I am.
It's okay, but it's fine. I mean, that's good. For the people that could comprehend it, they comprehend it. Now, if you could give it to me, let's just say in 3 simple sentences, why me, I'll just give you an example. Why me getting pushed on the floor as a middle schooler and the whole school laughing at me, how does that stop me from approaching girls as a 37-year-old man?
Okay. It happens as a kid.
3 sentences.
Your subconscious is saying, what does this mean that I got pushed on the floor?
Okay.
You probably form a belief like no one likes me. And this hurts. This sucks.
Okay.
Now you're approaching a girl and your brain is saying, listen, same thing's going to happen that happened when you were a kid, and it's going to suck just like it did back then. And your brain says, I don't want you to feel that. I'm giving you anxiety so you don't approach her, don't get pushed on the floor, and don't feel the pain.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So basically, to make it simple, you get pushed on the floor as a child in middle school. You think people don't like me. And therefore, when you want to go for the girl that you want to talk to, that trauma activates and says, nobody likes you. Therefore, we're going to stop you from potentially feeling this pain. Now, how is this trauma deep rooted and kind of like alive, if you will? How is it like able?
It gets stuck inside of us.
Right. Can you explain how? Like, how does the triggering occur? Like, why does it stay there? Why doesn't it just go out on its own?
Yeah. So the technical explanation, there's a neuroscientist. I won't give the technical explanation. I'll just tell you where to go. The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. I think Alex Vanderkopf. I probably slaughtered his name. #1 bestseller in psychology since 2015. We literally store, when we have painful things that happen to us as kids, it gets trapped in the nerves and neurons in our body and it won't heal. It's stuck there. And our subconscious mind is designed to be like soft clay. When we're kids, as we get older, it turns to hard clay. So these beliefs that form in our childhood, they get stuck there. This is just how we're wired. And once the clay hardens between age 8 and 14, whatever beliefs we formed as kids and whatever pain is tied to those beliefs is just there till the day we die, unless we do something special to fix it. How our subconscious mind works now is we go through the world and our subconscious is observing the world and it's saying, hey, how do I interpret the world? Anytime there's something in the outside world that's a match for the belief in us, it spikes that pain. Or you can have good programs. You can have a program, I'm amazing, I'm a champion. And then every time you win, you feel freaking amazing. And your brain's going to make you want to chase that pleasure, especially if there's no pain attached to it. But these are just all these beliefs in childhood. They're templates to govern the rest of our life. And our subconscious is just looking for things in the outside world that match what's in us as a way of figuring out how to interpret what's happening now as adults.
Awesome. So then I want to shift gears here and talk to Brent. Brent, you've been quiet the whole time. Sorry, but I'm just trying to because this is a complicated situation right now for a lot of people to kind of wrap their head around.
Sure.
Brent, you are probably the poster child for the Masculine Empowerment Network. Guys, you guys don't know. Brent, how long did you strike out with women? Was it 9 months in a row or 11?
It was 9 months in a row back in 2020.
Motherfucking gangster, bro. Motherfucking gangster. And this is what I try to tell people. And this is why people like Brent are above average. And Brent is a future multimillionaire. Okay. There's no doubt about that, guys.
How much you make last week, Brent? Not even 30.
No, we had a 5-figure week for the first time yet. So yeah, not too shabby.
Not even, you're 28?
29.
29.
So Brent, you joined the Masculine Empowerment Network. When was it you first joining?
So I found you December 19, and then I joined January 2020. When it was BLM back then, but yeah.
Right. But it's all Masculine Empowerment Network. The webinars, whatnot, right?
Yep.
So you started in 2020 of January.
Right.
Okay. It is only a measly 3 years later. Let me just tell you guys something. When Brent came to me, Brent was in a very, 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 I hate to say this, but kind of very dark place. You were sexually inexperienced. You were being bullied by your father. You had a shit job. You had a shit living situation. And you were in a bad spot mentally. It was a lot of suffering and all that shit. And the crazy thing is how, I told you that if you just stick with me, we can turn your life around. I said that. And I said, it's going to be hard. And if you do the work, though, if you follow the principles, money, muscles, game, frame, you will have the life that you want. It is absolutely mind-blowing how you have completely turned your entire life around since then. Why don't you just kind of walk them through the journey of starting in New Jersey, ending up in Texas, getting caught in a fucking ice storm, losing power, like moving to Texas in the middle of the pandemic. You were just a solid yes man. Anything we said for this man to do, he said, you know what? Fuck it. These guys are multimillionaires. These guys are super successful with women. These guys have everything that I want. He got in full blown shut the fuck up and listen mode, and just made his first 5-figure week last week. First
In
time
1 week.
1 week, 5 figures, 29 years old, still a baby in manland. Brent, why don't you just go ahead and take it away? Just give us the full story. And if people don't want to listen, they could go fuck themselves. Honestly, I want you to seriously, from the beginning to where you are now, go into as much detail as possible about how everything was turned around through the Masculine Empowerment Network and with Ryan here from Inner Masculine.
Yeah, how much did Inner Game help?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure to be with you, John and Ryan. Anyway, started out back in January 2020. I was an absolute disaster. Living with my parents. It was an abusive situation. Nonstop bullying, had constant anxiety, between having, a lot of fights between me and my father. Just wasn't working. Actually couldn't even hold a job in 2019. Had 2 or 3 jobs, and I wound up quitting prematurely, and they were pretty good gigs. Zero dating at all, total incel, just really, really dark place. Inner game, total disaster. Just, very, very angry, a lot of anxiety, working out 2-3 hours a day to try to control the anger, but that just put a dent in it, So, found you guys back in January 2020, sorted out the, started to sort out the inner game. We took care of the anger, moved from Jersey to Texas, got my own place for the first time, got back working. I'm a master auto tech by trade. So literally started out at $20 an hour. I needed to get my certifications up, but I was failing them because I had a severe fear of failure subconscious program in me. So wound up working with Ryan. We took care of the anger, took care of the fear of failure. And as soon as we started working on my inner game and kind of chipping away at that and building up my self-belief, all the results coming, not only was I escalating at work, I was escalating with women. We were on a 9-month dry spell, and then took care of that finally at the end of 2020, which simultaneously, which is funny, started knocking out all my certifications. So we're getting success with women. We're getting success financially. I'm becoming more happy, more content, more belief in myself. And it just starts, snowballing once you get your inner game sorted. Within 2 years, got all the certifications done, maxed out my day job. Girl-wise, wound up, I could smash multiple girls in a week, no problem now. I'm kind of phasing out of that, trying to find a good girl to, have, build experience with. But just a total transformation. And right now, we're in the 6-figure club. Hit that about 2.5 years, and just living the dream over here. I have a very, very content, very, very happy life. I'm with you high value gentlemen. Strive every day to get there, and just improve. Every single day.
Brent's fucking G. I called Brent. I was like, Brent, listen, I'm going to be in Dallas. I need you to pick me up. I need you to bring me 2 guns, and I need you to take me to my fucking apartment. He's like, yes, sir.
Whatever you need, brother. Whatever you need.
Strapped and clapped, baby. Don't fucking run up on me in the United States. Me and my boys, we're going to tear you up. Brent, the change that you have gone through is insane. I want to do this right now. Okay. Brent, let's do something together. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's pull up the female delusion calculator. Okay. Let's do something like let's plug in old Brent first. So old Brent was, you were 26?
Yeah, 25, 26 when I first signed up. Yeah.
Okay, so let's give you 25 to 30. Exclude married. How tall are you?
5'10".
5'10", height of champions. And what were you making when we first came in?
0.
Okay, I'll just put you. You're in the top 25% based on those two things there. Okay,
Yeah.
not bad, not bad, not bad. So now let's recalculate that. Okay, let's go to the new search. And currently you're let's say we'll bump that up to you're 29, so we'll bump it up to 29 to 34. Okay, oh, your race is white, put that there. Exclude obese, forgot that last time. And then we're just gonna put you at a flat 100K. So in 3 years, you went from in the 25% to less than 1%, and that is 1% of all white men in that range as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
And what's funny is you're just getting started. Like this is not even close to the beginning. Ryan Fowler, inner masculine, the hypnotherapy expert yourself. You exclusively have worked with Brent. What did you notice in him that was holding him back, and what did you unlock, and how did you unlock it?
So first time I saw him on Zoom, I was like, wow, this guy has angry energy. He had anger in him. And so the first session we worked on that, and one session we got rid of it. And I didn't even know if it worked because he was so angry. I'm like, shit, is this going to work? At the end of the session, he's like, oh, that actually worked. And I'm like, okay, I guess it worked. Anyways, he came back. I don't know how much later he came back, whether it was 6 months or what, but he had this fear of failure. That took 2 sessions to take care of. But once we took care of that, and we were, we don't just fix fear of failure. It's just toxic shame in general. Fear of failure is a type of toxic shame. If I fail, it means I'm a failure. It means I'm no good. It means I'm not good enough, whatever. So we were working on all his toxic shame for 2 sessions. And I showed him self-hypnosis too. To Brent's credit, and I give self-hypnosis audios to all my clients. Say, hey, continue the work. It's going to build on what we did. Listen to this a few times a week for the next few months or years, whatever. It's just going to add to the success. So to his credit, he was doing the self-hypnosis too, but we fixed his anger. We fixed his toxic shame. We get the bad out, and we put the best programs in, the best beliefs in. You believe you have massive value just for who you are. You don't need to do or say anything to have this value. There's nothing you can do or say to not have this value. It's unconditional self-love, self-belief. If you have value, even if the girl rejects you, if you have value, even when you fail, there's no more pain that gets triggered from feeling like a loser when you fail or feeling like a reject when you're rejected. If there's no pain, there's no anxiety that comes up that keeps you from doing stuff that you have to power through. These hurdles you have to overcome, they're gone because you're good regardless. That's why unconditional self-love, self-belief comes in, and we put in realistic beliefs. I'm not putting beliefs in people, hey, you'll never fail. I'm saying if you fail, it doesn't affect your value, and the more you do anything, the better you get until you get enough skill to get what you want. That's true. The more you do anything, the better you get. Just keep going until you get enough skill to get what you want. So we put these positive programs deep down. I'm not talking surface level. I'm not talking you're in the mirror saying that you're a good person, but deep down you kind of really don't feel that way. I'm saying deep down you feel you freaking have value at your core. That's what we do. So 3 sessions, I got the anger out. I'm not good enough. I don't believe my ability. When I fail means I'm failed. We got that out, put it in with the opposite. I have massive value just for who I am. The more I do anything, the better I get until I get enough skill to get what I want. That's self-belief. Put that in him, then he just took the hell off. The rest is history. Took 3 sessions.
Brent, when you would first start off and you talk, I remember the video of you when you passed the mechanic, the master mechanic. How many tests did you take to get the result that you wanted?
So there's a total of 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. And these, like, for the people that have no idea what we're talking about, right?
Sure.
Can you tell them like what this is all about? Like these master mechanic tests, like how hard are they? How many questions are they?
Okay.
Give me a little.
Yeah, sure. So they're technically, the organization is called ASE, Automotive Service Excellence.
Mhm.
And they're an organization. They're backed by pretty much all the main dealerships, all the main manufacturers in the automotive business.
Mhm.
So there's about 8 different categories, which cover pretty much all the systems in the car. Engines, transmissions, brakes, suspensions, and so on. There's about 8 of them. So the best way to move up as an automotive technician is to pass all of them. You pass all 8, and then you become master certified.
Okay. And then one test is how long?
One test, they vary between 50 and 60 questions.
Okay.
And it's timed for about an hour, 15 minutes each one.
Okay. And then how long did it take?
To take the test, or to...
Yeah, all the tests, because you said there was 8 levels of certification?
Yeah.
8 tests. How long did it take you to get all 8?
So after we sorted out my inner game, it took a year and a half.
Wow. And this was a gigantic pay raise?
Yeah, back then, jumped from 22 to 38.
Wow, that's insane.
Mhm.
That's definitely insane. Talk about the approach anxiety, the problem you have with women, and now how you literally have the good high-level problem, which is like most guys are just trying to get a woman. Now you're like picky. You're like, ugh, like I can't just deal with these crazy bitches. Like I actually need a decent woman in my life. I want you to elaborate on that at first, because you literally struck out for 9 months in a row. 9 months of dating and all of these struggles that you went through. But I told you, and it was hard to go through at the time, but I was telling you that this is the foundation of education that 99% of men will not go through, just by talking and dating as much as you can. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just comes down to, the inner game work. I mean, obviously there was probably some social anxiety, some social awkwardness. So, you need to, it takes a little while to get used to it. Girls are total opposites than us. So you need to, acquiesce to them, see how they move, see how they function. But the fear of failure was probably a part in there. I was always scared to like mess up or say the wrong thing, like in text game or on a FaceTime or even on a date. So it's like I was always walking on eggshells, with them. So eventually, we sorted all that out, and I believe in myself that I'm a confident, high value man, and eventually, we just had a breakthrough. With that. Eventually I just got comfortable, it's like you do all these reps, you just get comfortable with it and become confident in yourself.
Would you freeze up when you saw women and think like, damn, I suck, I'm a pussy, I'm a beta male, I'm a whatever?
Yeah, that would happen sometimes. Yeah.
And how did you overcome that?
Well, there was obviously anxiety in there, a little bit of approach anxiety. So eventually I probably did a self-hypnosis, Ryan's program, remove that bad subconscious program and program that I am enough. Hey, you know what? If I go approach or go talk to a girl and she blows me out, that's cool. It's her loss, because I'm enough, and it's going to be some other girl's, big day, meeting me. That's internally what I think.
And now you have a good woman who's in your frame and doing things, right?
Sure do.
Tell me about that. What's it like? How is she in your frame? How are things with her, a decent woman, versus, all the crazy bitches you met in America?
Right. Well, obviously, it's, I've been out there the last couple of years, so it's pretty easy to differentiate, low interest from high interest. I've gotten high interest right off the bat. She brings value into my life, cooks, cleans, helps me with work, helps me with business. There's a bunch of training videos she helped me with, knock them out for me, because I just don't have time to do them. I just don't. She just bring value all the time. She's quiet, follows my lead, feminine, submissive, just everything I want. It's as easy as that.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. So Ryan here talks about like the importance of self-hypnosis. And I think, honestly speaking, this is where most people fail. Ryan, I think you would agree with me on this. And Brent, you as well now as a dedicated expert in this situation, actually going through it and learning it. Most people don't want to do these self-hypnosis exercises at home. I would say that's fair to say. Ryan, the majority of your clients, do they do these self-hypnosis or they don't do them?
I would say when they come back to follow up, if they come back for second, third session, the typical story is, wow, your first session really helped me. Sometimes though, still struggling with some stuff, and I'll ask them, oh yeah, how often did you do the self-hypnosis? And they're like, oh, I listened to it 2 times or 3 times. Brent did it ongoing. I fixed 95% of my stuff with self-hypnosis. 5% was fixed with like 2 or 3 sessions with a pro, like 4 years in, after I've been doing self-hypnosis or some stuff I was stuck on. But self-hypnosis can be, when you know how to use it, it can be very powerful. I mean, I was easily as big of a train wreck as Brent, if not more. Probably, I don't know, it's apples and oranges. But the reason I'm doing this now is I searched for years. I had manic depression, complex PTSD, general anxiety disorder. I had, rage, resentment, anger, felt the world was against me, just all this crap in me. Searching for years, went to 100 normal talk therapy sessions, fixed about 60% of my depression, didn't really fix anything else, but it took 15 years. I mean, it's crazy. So I was looking for solutions. I found a form of self-hypnosis within 2 months. Depression permanently gone. The last few years of therapy didn't do anything. This was the stuff the therapy can never touch. 2 months, boom, gone. I remember walking around happy for no reason, feeling I had value for no reason, just feeling it. And so the program didn't tell how to use hypnosis to solve anxiety. It took me 2 years to figure it out. I figured it out, teach my clients. The clients who do use it, Jonathan, you remember the first Inner Game Healing Summit? I have 30 testimonials from that Telegram chat. People contact me out of the blue. I tried your self-hypnosis. I kept using it. I lost 50 pounds. I quit porn. Jorge Diaz, who was in that group, and I interviewed him on my channel. He had 9 out of 10 approach anxiety, 9 out of 10 anxiety with closing sales.
Yep.
Never did a live session for him. Self-hypnosis got both of those down to 1 out of 10, and then his sales volume went up 4 or 5 times.
And that's the guy.
Then he got hired by Jordan Belfort, 6 figures in Mexico, making 6 figures US, which is crazy. That's like $300,000-$400,000 grand a year in the US.
And I'll give you guys a little Easter egg. So in the Masculine Empowerment Network video, when Ryan is in front of somebody and snapping his finger, that's George Diaz. That's Jorge, excuse me. That's Jorge Diaz.
He's my buddy here in Mexico. I party with Brent when we were in Dallas. I get the best friends from this, man. You're my friend because I did hypnosis for you. I helped you out, I have the best friends. It's amazing.
You helped us all out, man. You ever see that movie Billions, or the show Billions?
And you guys help me too. You're my tribe, but keep going.
You ever see the show Billions, Ryan?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
redheaded dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has that like psychiatrist behind the scenes that like maintains the mental health of all the people. Like you're our masculine version of that. You're like the you're the guy behind the scenes, because Ryan here, like, I know, like, to some of you guys, this may sound crazy. I know, but I'm not crazy. And Ryan is not crazy. And Brent is not crazy. We are right. We have all turned our lives around. Do you understand? Let me just tell you something, guys. Do you understand how hard it is for someone to just turn their life around? First of all, just to turn their life around.
Like a 180, man.
Dude, not even a 180 and then strap booster jets onto these people. Like, Brent is not like kind of successful. Like, he was banging girls before, but now he's like banging a lot more girls. He was making a little bit money. Now he's making a little bit more money. Like, dude, I don't think people truly grasp what we're doing, and that's okay, because we're going to keep leading the charge, and we're going to keep turning people's lives around, and it's only a matter of time before everybody starts copying us, quite frankly. It's only a matter of time. But I just think the problem here, and this is not a dig at these people, but some of the big leaders in this space with larger channels like Rolitz Mossy, Rich Cooper, Andrew Tate, Myron from Fresh and Fit, right? These guys, they didn't go through these severely traumatizing events as children. And they, when they see somebody who's struggling, they're just like, don't be a pussy. You're a being little bitch. Don't be like this. Man the fuck up. But when you have this subconscious trauma deeply rooted in your mind, you are literally stuck. And you are stuck in this perpetual cycle of self-sabotage and misery for the rest of your life. These people try their hardest and hardest, but
some guys are really struggling to up level, and they can't because they're bad subconscious programs holding them back.
If you can't do that, I mean, it's just a matter of time, like before you're gonna fail. It's inevitable. It is true. Your failure is guaranteed and inevitable if you do not get the core issue. Everything starts here. Okay. Like Mr. Lucario always says, the truth is inside you. That is very true. We know to an extent on some subconscious level, something is holding us back. This happens for women too. Some women tell me, like, I just don't know why I keep fucking relationships up. Like, what's wrong with me? People eventually start, if they're aware enough, they start thinking like, what's wrong with me? And I'm telling you, America is a broken nation, and it's a broken nation because it's filled with broken families. And now these broken families are creating more broken people. It's the broken leading the broken. That's why the United States is in a free fall. However, I will tell you this. I believe in all my fucking heart that removing the trauma in your life is the only thing you need to do. Because once you remove this stuff, you get out of your own way. And I believe each man is naturally a successful individual. You're naturally going to do the right things. We know what we need to do. We know we need to eat healthy food. We know we need to exercise. We know we need to save money. We know we don't need to be using drugs and watching porn and simping for girls and all this shit. We all know these things. But when your subconscious mind is fucked up, you can know everything and still act in the other direction and sabotage yourself and ruin your life. And it happens over and over and over again. That's why I said I'm holding the line. I'm not going to sit here and be like, here, let's do this pickup course and let's do this and all that, which I do, right? I get that stuff I'm going to do. But this right here is the core component of changing your life. This, what we're talking about right here. Okay, if this was some red pill, let's dunk on hoes, fucking look at all these feminist sluts and let's laugh at these people. If that was this kind of stream, we would have like 1,000 views and all this shit, right? But we're talking about the hard issues that a lot of people aren't really talking about. And a lot of people don't even know this exists. But I'm telling you, I know in my heart of hearts we're at the forefront of something huge. And I'm not backing down. The Inner Game Healing Summit is growing every year. The Masculine Empowerment Network is growing every year. My YouTube channel is growing massively. And we're leading charge by telling guys that you need to look inside you and understand what is going on and heal that brokenness, heal that trauma, and then get out of your own way. I mean, Brent, you don't even need anybody to call you or pump you up or get anything done in your life. Mommy, daddy don't call you to cheer you up, your girlfriend. Like, you're just a self-driven man. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, day to day, tell me about this. Like, what do you feel when you wake up now compared to what you felt like a couple years ago?
I mean, last couple months, I mean, I'm having trouble sleeping because I just want to take on the day. I just want to work more and more and more. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've been up since 4 a.m. today working, and that's all I want to do is just take on the world, dude. I just want to be as successful, knock at as many goals as I can, improve as much as I can, hang out with you guys as much as I can. That's just who I am now. It's insane, the transformation me now versus a couple years ago.
Yeah. Ryan, do you believe me? Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was just going to say, I want to point out Brent is an exemplary case. He is not an isolated case. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of dudes like big transformations. That's why we know this works, because we get so many receipts over and over and over and over.
Ryan, I don't think people know what exemplary means. Can you make it simpler?
Brent is a way above average case, but he's not an isolated case. We have so many dudes radically changing their lives.
Yeah. But really, I think you're kind of underselling a lot of the other guys. Look at a
lot of dudes have huge. Look at Ryan Apollo, doubled his income. Now he has.
Ryan from Elevate Cyber used to have crippling approach anxiety, literally paralyzed.
He's kind of a Brent.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good dude. I met him in person. He's solid.
Oh, he's amazing. I love him. Look at freaking Gary Hones, who does, our copy.
Yep.
How he used to be and how he is now. Just big transformation. Look at Ryan Christensen now doing hypnotherapy full time, because I did a session. Rock his world, change his life. Now he's full time. I have 6 clients did sessions with me, are now certified hypnotherapists. That tells you something. They're like, oh my goodness, 6 people. This changed my life so much. I'm going to get the same training Ryan has. And then they come to me because there's some secret sauce you need on top of the normal training. And I give them the secret sauce because I'm here to change the world. It's like, let's help everyone up level. Yeah, just big changes across the board. Some guys more motivated than others. Some do one session and they get better and they don't want to progress beyond that. That's cool. Still help them. But then there's the hardcore dudes. They're like, I'm going to do this self-hypnosis a ton. I'm going to do, I need 5 sessions. Fine, I'll do 5 sessions. And then they're totally up leveled, Yeah, I mean, it's not rare at all.
No, I mean, there's just so much more. And if you guys are interested, go ahead and check out, Ryan has a new website just with all the information that you have available and these testimonials, because it's really important for you guys to check it out. I'm going to share it here. The website, and we're going to be talking more about this at the at the Masculine Empowerment Network, and also the Inner Game Healing Summit, which still has 3 more sessions for the rest of the year. Just go to innermasculinehealing.com and then scroll down and then watch these 4 testimonials. This is right here. This is Ryan from Elevate Cyber. These are all very long and in detail, because that's just how we have to explain these things. But if you're actually just serious, and hell, let's be honest, if you're just skeptical, watch these 4 things. Okay. And if you want, there's also a quiz here you can fill out just to get your information. Go ahead, check this out. Watch Ryan's introduction video here as well. All this information is clearly, there for you to check out. And you at home, you can be the detective yourself. You can be the one who checks this out, and you can be the one that verifies it. I put it right there. It's innermasculinehealing.com. I think you should go to innermasculinehealing.com. I don't know if you have to put the start as well, but even if you do, it's right there. Check it out, because we are really, like I said, we are doing what we need to do, which is we are turning the tide of culture. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? And this is going to sound like I'm giving you a scare tactic, but I'm not. I'm just giving you a very blunt and honest observation. The situation in the West is going to get worse. America is going to get worse. Canada is going to get worse. Australia, the UK, every Western nation is going to get worse. However, if you fix your internal world, you become mentally strong. Because if you have the mental world sorted out, guess what you have? Now you have rock solid frame. Rock solid frame. Okay? And when you have rock solid frame and inner game, guess what? Money, muscles, games, child's play. Brent, are you worried about girls right now?
0.
What if that girl? What if she walked out of your life tomorrow?
Oh, we got 5 more. Not a big deal.
I love it. I mean, Ryan, you have your set of women you're dealing with as well.
John MLD, you got on my case for having too many women.
I did. I was like, hey, you need to cut the roster. We got to.
I did. I cut it down. you know, haven't cut it off, but I've cut it down because I'm working 7 days a week now, and I'm loving it.
Mhm.
I got 4 major projects in the oven, and definitely yours is the most pressing one right now. That what we're working on together, John.
Yep.
It's all good. I'm loving it. I'm here in Mexico. I got out of the U.S. same reason you did. We see the writing on the wall, and you know, yeah. But it's great, man.
So what we're gonna do now for you guys, I think we need to talk about something a little bit more serious that's not going to allow us to be discussing here on YouTube. So
let's get ready to rumble.
We're going to head over to Rumble. I'll put the link in the chat right now because now we got to talk about the real stuff, the real deal, the real
Now we
issue.
can F-bomb.
We are cutting all transmissions. So if you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on DLive, all of those we're about to cut out. But before I do, don't forget, go to the masculineempowermentnetwork.com, get on the waiting list, join us. We need more men like you, men who are ready to take action, men who are ready to turn their lives around. It's free to get on the waiting list. Don't forget, check out Ryan's website, Inner Masculine Healing. You do the detective work, and we're going over to Rumble right now. Okay, we're cutting Facebook right there. All right. And give me a second, guys. Let's see. All off.